Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's slow flow yoga practice. Grab your mats and a couple of blocks. If you don't have some blocks at home, you could use a couple of books stacked on top of one another. But anything really, a couple of cushions, whatever you've got. Let's pop those blocks towards the front of your mat, so just so that they're easy to grab when you need them. We'll take one and then place it in between the knees. We're going to come up into a kneeling position. So get yourselves nice and comfortable here in this kneeling position. If kneeling doesn't feel good for you, then take an alternative upright seat. Just have a play around and always do what feels good in any of these classes. Once you feel ready, let's start to ground down into the sit bones, into our seats. Pay some attention to your breathing. Take a nice big breath in through the nose. And then open the mouth. Let it all go. Take a couple more breaths like that. Nice big breath in through the nose. Full breath out through the mouth. One more big breath in. Full breath out. Let's take the hands onto the waist. We'll draw the elbows towards the back. We're going to take some seated cat-cows here. So as you take your next breath in, let's roll the tailbone towards the back. Draw the chest forwards, draw the elbows towards one another in the back body, and then just start to take the gaze upwards. When you're ready to breathe out, let's reverse the shape, drawing the tailbone in, tucking that belly button into the spine. Maybe the elbows come around a little bit so that you can round out through the shoulders, tuck that chin in towards the chest. And then continue those movements, breathing in to come forward and breathing out to move back. Nice and steady with the breath, nice and slow with the movements. Feeling into your body, noticing up and down the spine, and really taking this time to enjoy these movements. Let's take one more in each direction. Beautiful. Come back into this neutral position. I'm going to take the arms and raise them up over the head. Maybe take the gaze up towards the hands if it feels good. Nice and long through the spine. We'll drop the shoulders back and down. Nice big breath in, find that length. And as you breathe out, we're going to take it over towards the left. Take a little turn here towards your left. Sweep that left hand behind. Place the back of the right hand onto the outside of that left thigh. Stay nice and tall on the sit bones here. Stay open through the chest. You can either gaze towards this left hand side, or you might feel like turning the head and looking back towards that back shoulder. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. With every breath in, see if you can expand through the belly. And with every breath out, softening through the belly, but keeping that length through the spine. Keeping that openness in the chest. We're going to use our next inhalation to come back up through center. We'll raise those arms up over the head once again. And then exhale, take it over to your right hand side. This time the back of that left hand is on the outside of the right thigh as that right arm sweeps around. Remember, stay high on the sit bones. Stay open through the chest. And you've got the option to just gaze towards the right hand side, or you can start to turn the head, look back towards that right shoulder as you enjoy a couple of those deep breaths here. Beautiful. Let's use that next breath in to come back through center. Sweep the arms up over the head and exhale to release the hands down. We're going to make little stop signs with the hands here and then come on over onto your hands and knees. Take that block or cushion out from underneath. Place those blocks towards the front of your mat. Coming over onto hands and knees in this tabletop position. Check that you've got the wrists under the shoulders, the knees under the hips, and we're deliberately pressing into the tops of the feet here. Beautiful. We'll move through just a couple of cat-cows here in this kneeling position, so a similar movement to what we were doing previously. Let's take a breath in as we roll that tailbone up towards the ceiling. Drop the chest down, take the gaze upwards. And a breath out to reverse this shape. Tuck the belly button into the spine. Round up through the shoulders. Tuck the chin, looking at that space between the knees. Beautiful. Let's take one more upward cat. And another downward cat. Excellent. Meeting back with this neutral position in the spine as we tuck the toes under, send the sit bones back towards the heels, and then lift the hips, lift the knees. Send that tailbone up towards the ceiling. We've got about hip distance between the feet here. You can have a little bend into the knees and really reach that tailbone up towards the ceiling. Spread wide through the fingers. Keep that gaze either between the feet or between the knees. And just breathing deep. Beautiful. Let's take a breath in through the nose as we rise up onto the tips of the toes. Exhale, take a generous bend through the knees. Look at that space between your hands and then start to walk the feet up in between the hands. We're going to meet at the top of the mat in a full forward fold. You decide how much of a bend you'd like to keep in your knees here as you allow the head and the neck to hang over the legs. Breathing deeply, of course, as always. Beautiful. We're going to ground down through the feet. Keep a little bend through the knees as the tailbone looks back towards the back of your mat. When you're ready to take your next breath in, rise up into a chair position. So a standing chair. We've got that bend in the knees. We're grounded down through the feet. That tailbone is looking back towards the back of the mat. We're reaching these arms out just in line with the chest and making a conscious effort to roll those shoulders back and down. Beautiful. Nice and strong here through the legs. Breathing deeply. Let's take a breath in as we raise the arms up over the head and start to straighten through the legs. A breath out as we float the hands down, start to fold over the legs again. Let's meet in that full forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Nice and straight through your spine here. We'll pop the hands onto the shins. Send the tailbone back, send the collarbones forward. Little squeeze of the shoulders together in the back body. Let's take another breath in together here. And as we exhale, we'll float over into that full forward fold. Plant the palms either side of the feet. And we're going to step back with this right foot. Allow the right knee and the top of that right foot to place down on your mat. You feel like you've got a comfortable position. You've got that front knee tracked over the front ankle. Let's rise up into this low lunge position. Reaching those arms up over the head and dropping those shoulders back and down. Nice and steady with the breath here. Check that your hips are square. And that might mean drawing that left hip back, the right hip slightly forward, just to get that steadiness in the hips and that squareness, that evenness. Let's find another breath in and find that length in the spine. And as we breathe out, we're going to fold over. Perhaps grab your blocks along the way as we straighten out through this front left leg. Just find as much straightness as feels good here in the leg. You might have that slight bend or maybe even more of a bend through that left knee. But let's flip the toes up towards the ceiling. You can use your blocks here to rest the hands. You decide which edge of the block feels better for you. If you prefer to do it without the blocks, of course, you've got that option. You could come up onto the tips of the fingers or maybe place the palms down. Once you feel settled in the shape, let's draw the forehead down towards that left knee. And some focus, some awareness here on the breath. You've got that little bit of restriction as you breathe in and the belly expands as the belly is pressing against this left thigh. But use that little bit of restriction to really breathe fully and deeply and expand through that belly. And use that full exhale to soften through the belly. Beautiful. We'll move back and forth through those two positions now. Just moving with the breath. Let's inhale, bend through the front knee. Reach the arms up over the head, drop the shoulders back and down. Exhale, float the hands down, straighten through the front knee, flip the toes. Inhale, let's bend through that front knee, reach the arms up. Exhale, float the hands down, straighten through that front leg, draw the forehead down. One more inhale to reach. Exhale to lower. Beautiful. Let's inhale to reach. As we exhale this time, we're going to draw this left hand down, sweep it past the left hip as we turn towards this left side. Left arm reaches back, right arm reaches forward. Nice and steady here. You can gaze towards this left side, or you might like to turn the head and gaze back towards that left hand. Use this position to check in with the breath. Beautiful. Let's place the back of this left hand on the lower back and then reaching this right arm up towards the ceiling. Keep that tuck of the chin. Keep gazing down to either that left hip or towards that left shoulder. Reach that right arm up towards the ceiling, but allow that right shoulder to drop back and down the back body. Beautiful. Let's inhale to open back up towards this twist towards the left hand side. And then reach the arms up into this lunge position. Let's exhale to float the hands down. Press the back toes under, lift the back knee, and then step this left foot back into your down dog position. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Remember, keep that tailbone lifted. Keep that softness in the knees. Once you finish those 2 rounds of breath, let's lower the knees down. Allow the big toes to touch the tops of the feet. Rest down on the mat. And then draw your sit bones back towards your heels. Just find a child's pose here. Your option with the child's pose, you might keep the arms reaching forward. If you prefer, you could stack the palms and rest the forehead onto the stacked palms. Find something that feels good for you. Beautiful. Let's use that next breath in to raise back up onto the hands and knees in that tabletop position. We'll tuck the toes under and rise up into your downward facing dog. Beautiful. A breath in as we come up onto the tips of the toes. A breath out to bend through the knees. Look at that space between the hands. And then walk the feet up towards the top of the mat, in between the hands, and find that full forward fold at the top of your mat. Relaxing out through the head, through the neck. Beautiful. Let's ground down through the feet. Draw that tailbone towards the back of the mat. And as you inhale, come up into that standing chair position. Take a moment just to adjust the body here. Ground down through the feet, bend through the knees. Send that tailbone back. Arms out in line with the chest, with the shoulders are back and down. We're breathing deeply into the lungs so that we feel the belly expand. Exhaling fully to feel that belly soften. Take a breath in, press into the feet, come all the way up to standing. Exhale to float the hands down, meeting back in that full forward fold again. Inhale, take a halfway lift. And exhale to release, plant the palms. This time we're stepping back with that left foot. We allow the left knee and the top of the foot to rest down. Check that that front right knee is tracked over the right ankle. And when you feel ready, let's come up into this lunge position. Beautiful. Arms are reaching long, shoulders are back and down. We've got that squareness in the hips. And this might mean that that right hip draws slightly back and the left slightly forward. Beautiful. Let's take one more breath in together. And then as we breathe out, we're going to float the hands down. Start to straighten out through that right knee. Maybe grabbing those blocks if you did on the other side and you felt like they were useful. Flipping the toes up towards the ceiling. Relaxing the head down towards that front right knee. Keeping as much of a bend through that right knee as you need. And just taking this time to check in with the body. Check in with the breathing. Beautiful. I'm going to take those movements now on this side, moving back and forth through the lunge position and through this straight leg position. So let's breathe in as we bend back into that front knee and reach the arms up over the head. Exhale to release the hands down and straighten through that left side. Relax the head down. Beautiful. Inhale to reach. Exhale to lower. We've got one more like this. Inhale to bend and reach. Exhale to straighten and lower. Beautiful. Inhaling to reach. Pause in this high lunge position with the arms reaching tall. And then exhale as we take a turn towards that right hand side. Right arm sweeps down past the right hip and towards the back of your mat as that left arm reaches forward. Stay open through the chest. Beautiful. Remember your options here. You can gaze towards the right side, or you can turn the head, start to look towards that back, right shoulder. Connect with your breathing. Beautiful. Let's pop the back of the right hand onto the lower back as we reach this left arm up towards the ceiling. Reach that left arm long, but draw that left shoulder back and down. Beautiful. Tuck the chin, gaze towards that right hip or the back right shoulder. Couple of breaths here. Then inhaling to open back up with the arms. Pause for that exhale. And then another inhale to sweep the arms up. Beautiful. Let's exhale. Plant the palms down to frame that front foot. Tuck the back toes under. Lift the back knee. Pop those blocks off to the side. Beautiful. And then we're going to step back into that down dog position. Take a moment here. Adjust the body, hip distance between the feet. Slight bend in the knees. Tailbone lifted. Fingers spread wide. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Big breath in. And then let's use that exhale to very gently lower the knees down. Allow the top of the feet to rest on the mat. And come back into your child's pose. Remember those options of arms forward, maybe forehead resting on a block. Or you could have the forehead resting on the stacked palms. Breathing deeply here. Might feel nice to take a big breath in through the nose, fill up the lungs, and then open the mouth. Take another 2 breaths like that if they feel good. one more big breath in, big breath out. Beautiful. Let's rise back up into a kneeling position. You can pop those blocks off to the side, and we're going to come over onto the sit bones. Beautiful. Find a place that feels comfortable. Stay nice and tall on your sit bones. Excellent. We're going to take this right leg out slightly wider so that we can bend into the left knee and rest the sole of the left foot somewhere along the inside of this right thigh. Try to rest it on the thigh and keep it away from pressing on the knee. If you find here that a block under that left knee feels good, it might feel comfortable, then go ahead and use a block or your cushions here underneath that left knee. We'll stay flexed here through the right foot. We're tall on those sit bones. Let's take a breath in as we reach the arms up and over the head. A breath out as we turn towards this straight right leg. Another breath in to lift and lengthen. And a breath out as we pour over this right leg. Just allow the hands to rest wherever they naturally come. They might come to the outsides of the right leg. They might rest on the right thigh, maybe the right shin. You might find that you've got that space, that the hands wrap around that right foot. But remember here that that's not the ultimate goal. The goal is just to feel into your body. Notice what distance feels comfortable enough that you can keep a steady, even breath. Remember to tuck the chin in towards the chest here. Beautiful. And connect with that breath. Take another full round of your breathing here. And when you feel ready, let's lift the head, start to walk the hands back up. Beautiful. We're going to swap sides now. So if you've got a block under that left knee, let's take it out. Let's straighten through this left side. Take it a little bit out on an edge, on an angle here towards this left side so that we can bend through the right knee and place the right sole of the foot somewhere along the inside of the left thigh. Remember, you can use your block here underneath that right knee. We've got a flex here through the left foot. We're tall on the sit bones. Let's raise those arms up over the head. Find that length in the spine. Turn the torso, the body towards that left leg. Inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale to float yourself over, allowing the arms and the hands to rest where they naturally fall. Being content here with that position. And breathing deeply into the lungs so that you can expand through the belly. Exhaling completely to soften through the belly. Little tuck of the chin in towards the chest here. Take another full round of your breath. Then start to lift the head, lift the gaze, start to walk the hands up, that block off to the side. We're going to bend back into both knees here. Take the soles of the feet onto the floor, onto the mat, and then just lower back onto the forearms and come all the way back down onto the spine. Beautiful. Find a comfortable position. A couple of options here. You could take the feet out to the edges of the mat, the left and right sides, and maybe allow the knees to rest in on top of one another. We've got the arms just down by the sides, the backs of the hands on the floor. You could stay here, or you've got the option of straightening out through the legs and just allowing the whole body to be long and to be soft. Maybe closing down the eyes if that feels comfortable. Taking a full breath in, fill up the lungs. Opening the mouth and sigh it out. Take another 2 breaths like that. Oh, beautiful. One more big breath in. And a full breath out. Just letting the whole body sink into that support of the earth. Just noticing here any sounds that you might hear outside of where you are. Noticing those sounds and then letting them float away into the distance. Noticing any sounds within your space. Just noticing and then letting those sounds fade into the distance. Noticing any sounds within your body. Maybe it's your breathing. Maybe it's the sound of your heartbeat. Just noticing these sounds. Letting them fade away. Let's take a big breath in as we reach the arms up over the head. Give yourselves a full body stretch, maybe reaching the legs long. A breath out to hug those knees into the chest. A couple of gentle rocks here from one side to the other. When you feel ready, roll over onto your preferred side. Very gently start to make your way back up into a comfortable upright seat. Wherever that is for you, it can be cross-legged, it could be in that kneeling position that we had earlier. You might feel more comfortable with the legs out in front. Just take a moment here to check in with the body, check in with the breath. Beautiful. Let's take the hands together at the heart center. Little bow of the forehead towards the fingertips. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. I hope to see you again for the next one. Please like and subscribe, and let me know if there's anything in particular that you'd like to see on the channel. Namaste.